Hi, I'm Joanne. I'm from Pathways here in Taunton, and welcome to The Other Side. It's a program produced by mental health workers along with people who have the mental illness diagnosis. It focuses on topics that will affect both people with mental illness and their families, their friends, and their communities. On May 21st, 2011, NAMI held their annual walk in Boston, Massachusetts. NAMI is the National Alliance for Mental Illness, and it provides support, education, and advocacy for people with mental illness and also their families. The turnout this year was absolutely amazing. There were hundreds of people, and there were walkers, people with mental illness, family members of those who suffer from mental illness, politicians. It was a beautiful day at the NAMI Walk, all sun and no rain. There was a great turnout, lots of people were there, and it was an amazing experience. Take a look and see for yourself.
Thank you very much, Gus, and thank you all for being here. And I see our good friend, our best advocate, Kitty Dukakis out there. Where's Kitty? Right there, Kitty. Come on over here, will you? She's the best advocate we have out there, and I just want to say, all you folks out there, you know, this issue mental illness affects all of us, all our families. We all have some we look to in our family and try to help them as they go through difficult days. And we have sunny days, we have bad days, cloudy days. But through all that, we have to continue to support our friends, our families, our loved ones who have this disease. And you know, we look at, everybody talks about homelessness. 2/3 of our homeless individuals have mental health issues. And as in the city of Boston, our public health commission, who has a team walking this morning, we have 7 different sites to work with folks who have mental health issues, and in our schools also. So I'm just here this morning to thank all of you for keeping the issue alive, because you know, we're going through difficult budget times, and what's the services always get cut? Human services. They're always, I know you got a good break in the Senate budget this time. We're going to make sure that what you got in the Senate budget stays in the budget, gets signed by the governor, so we can have those services. They're so important to all of us. But all of you here today, now, the guy upstairs is looking after you because this is the first day in 6 months the sun's come out. He didn't want to rain on your parade. And so you got a beautiful day to do it. You know, send a message. And I also ask you all advocates out there, talk to your elected officials. Educate them on the issue. Because, you know I'm an elected official for the last 10 decades, and but I have people who educate me every day on these different issues. A lot of these young people don't understand the issue. And you folks are experts on it. It affects your family and something you know real well. Go meet with them. Tell them what it's all about, so they can be advocates for you, so we can increase the numbers we have here tenfold, up to State House and City Halls, and the federal governments, wherever it may be. We need more advocates, because they'll say, oh, it doesn't affect me, it's somebody else's problem. Let me just say it, folks, I know. It affects all of us. We all have to be out there advocating every day for everyone, because it's more important. Have a great walk, and I thank you for allowing me to stop by.
Thank you, Mayor Menino. Can we have another hand for Mayor Menino? We're very grateful to have him here with us today. And what he's saying is true. The Senate did do a favor for us on the mental health side, but it's up to all of us to thank our senators and to make sure that that is ultimately the budget that the conference committee passes. But now I'm going to introduce another great advocate for NAMI. Many of you know Kitty Dukakis and her book on electroshock therapy. Kitty is a wonderful spokesperson for NAMI Mass, and she's going to be talking briefly, and also her husband the governor is going to be joining us for the walk. Unfortunately, he has another speaking engagement, but he's going to be joining us. But how many of you have seen the Kitty and Michael Dukakis YouTube video on the walk? Woo! It's a wonderful video. It's only 2 minutes, so if you haven't seen it, please go on our website, www.namimass.org, and take a look at it. With that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Kitty Dukakis. Thank you, Kitty.
I just have to say a couple of words about both the mayor and Laurie. There are angels in this field, and this man is one of them, the best mayor that the city of Boston has ever had. And Laurie has been an extraordinary leader and advocate for all of us. And as someone who suffered for 17 years with depression, and finally 11 years ago, and we're coming up with an anniversary, Michael and my 48th anniversary is going to be celebrated on the same day that I had my first treatment. We have a support group here that we're working with, and we're bringing our spouses to these meetings to help people who have suffered as we have. And I am full of gratitude for at least a little bit of growth, that the stigma for mental health, and in particular for our ECT treatments, has changed a little bit. And each day we have a little bit more understanding of what this treatment can do for people. And I am full of gratitude even for those tiny baby steps that are raising the veil and the darkness of depression. And we have a sign that we're going to be marching with. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Kitty. And all of you are helping to stomp stigma today by walking. So that's why we're here, to stomp stigma. Next, I'm going to introduce Commissioner Barbara Leadholm, who is no stranger to many of you. Commissioner Leadholm has led the Department of Mental Health now for 5 glorious years, and she has a strong emphasis on recovery. And I'm going to turn the mic over to the Commissioner. Please welcome Commissioner Leadholm.
And welcome everybody. It is just stunningly wonderful to see all of you out here, all of our friends, families, advocates. We're all advocates together today. We're all on the same mission to make sure that we take great strides in understanding that mental illness is not a disease different from any other disease. And only we can really ensure that people understand through better awareness the importance of working together and people getting access to treatment. I have to acknowledge, you see my t-shirt here. This is the t-shirt for Metro Boston and Central office at DMH. We have over 220 walkers, and I just want to thank them for their fundraising and working together. And then I want to acknowledge all of you who are walking today, our amazing partners. And NAMI, I can't say enough for your efforts. I know that you really bring us together. We got the gorgeous weather, and it's our day to really say recovery is real, treatment is effective, and thank you all for really raising awareness for everyone, so that people with mental illness can realize their dreams and live in the community as we all do, with good jobs, good relationships, and the love and support that we all desire. So thank you, and have a great time today.
Our program is about half over, but I'd like to have your attention and a moment of silence, if I can. silence. Stephanie Moulton passed away earlier this year, and for anyone else in our community who has passed away this year, I would like a moment of silence if we can, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Silva. My son Joe, 37 years old, schizophrenia. Mental illness is a struggle. For our family, it was daunting. But we believed that there was hope and there was help. We found NAMI. NAMI educates you. NAMI enlightens you. NAMI encourages you to use your voice and your vote. NAMI tells you you are not alone. NAMI is hope. President Clinton once said, mental illness does not shame us, but stigma and bias shame us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. It's a pleasure to be here and to bring the greetings of the Massachusetts State Senate and the legislature. They worked very hard over the past couple of weeks in these difficult financial times to do what we can to help you and all that you do. As chairman of the committee, I get the opportunity every day to see the issues of mental health and how they affect people and their families. But I also get to see the great stories of recovery and renewal. And I get to see daily the great advocacy efforts of NAMI and all the volunteers, and it does have an impact. I'd like to say as well that we're committed in government to helping you. And as we're here today, as you work to raise tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars with the walks that are going on across the country, that we'll do everything we can to help. You know, we've had a tough week. It's been a week of rain, and I think it's only fitting that as this walk starts, the sun starts to come out. And let all of us commit ourselves to making sure that the sun shines for all. Thank you and have a great walk.
Okay. Are we excited? Do we ever give up? Oh, come on. I got to hear a little more. Oh, do we ever give up? No. Okay, my name is Patty Mars. I've been a member of NAMI for 17 years. I have two sons in their 40s. One is major depression and the other one is bipolar. And it's interesting how I found NAMI. I was in the emergency room being treated for what turned out to be a mild heart attack, madly trying to explain to the triage nurse that my son had just been diagnosed bipolar. I had no idea what that meant. He was over 18 and the doctors wouldn't talk to me. I had no rights. Now keep in mind, this is before Google. I couldn't just go to a computer and type in bipolar. Well, the triage nurse grabbed a piece of paper, wrote down NAMI and a telephone number, stuffed it in my pocket, and said, when you get out of here, you call them. You'll get your answers. Well, I did. I called NAMI. I found families just like mine, madly looking for information. But more importantly, I found young men and women like my sons who were taking their meds every single day. They were fighting the side effects, fighting the voices, fighting all the negativity in their brains. They were walking the walk day after day after day. I found hope and I found a courage I had never seen. So I want to ask you today, how many of you here are living with mental illness? Now raise your hands. Come on, don't be shy. This is your day. I really found the hope that I had never found before. What I'm excited about today is the new NAMI program, NAMI Basics, which is directed at families with children and adolescents either suffering from a mental illness or exhibiting the symptoms and they really aren't sure what's going on. That is absolutely huge because the emphasis now is on early prevention. So today, And I should mention one more thing. I had a call from my older son last week, and my granddaughter, who's 15, had popped 25 aspirin. Now that doesn't mean that she's going to be diagnosed with an illness, but it does mean that if the family dynamics is at play, they have the resources I didn't have 17 years ago. So today I walk for my sons, I walk for that granddaughter, I walk for all of the families and the clients that I've met over the years. And in particular, I am walking today for a good friend of mine who lost her son to suicide last summer. She's walking in San Francisco today in about 3 hours with her NAMI support group around her. And it doesn't get any better than that. So, are you ready to walk? Okay!
I'm here with Mark from Stoneham.
Yeah, Elliott House.
Elliott House in Stoneham. So Mark, what brings you to the NAMI Walk today?
So it's pretty good, and the food is free. Yeah.
And how do you think it turned out this year? If you've been to 4 before, is this a bigger or smaller turnout than you've had before?
I think this is a bigger turnout than last year, but I think it's great. I mean, I'm surprised the weather is going to be so good. I didn't know if it was going to be this good or not. So yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's great.
So what brings you to NAMI Walk this year, T?
Well, I chose the NAMI Walk as part of my project for a group that I belong to, a volunteer group that I belong to. I thought it was a very worthy organization. Crosses a broad spectrum of topics as far as, women and children. I mean, there's just no boundaries with where mental illness can touch folks. So to me, it was perfect. Perfect opportunity for us to come out and volunteer with this group and our group of volunteers.
Great. And is this your first NAMI Walk?
This is my very first NAMI Walk, so I'm really nervous, but it was beautiful. It was nothing. I remained optimistic and positive the whole week, even though it was rainy and gloomy. You know what? God shined on us. Look at it. It was a beautiful day. Absolutely perfect. Delighted the people. Everybody's been so friendly and wonderful. Next year we're going to have a tent and food. So yeah, it's been wonderful.
So what would you say your favorite thing about the NAMI Walk has been?
I think having all my friends together, because we're kind of from all over the state, we're different clubs all over, having all my friends together as a group, and then just knowing that the monies and the things that we've done today are really going to benefit people. I think that's important to know.
That's great.
A difference. We're making a difference.
Definitely, I agree. From Synovian Pharmaceuticals. Is this your first NAMI Walk?
It is actually in Boston, but Synovian has sponsored NAMI Walks around the entire country. Our team of employees, we have about 2,000 employees that are participating in over 40 walks this spring.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're very, very excited.
So how do you think this turned out compared to other walks that you've done?
This is by far our largest and most successful. It's a beautiful day. Our employees are so excited. The health fair has been tremendous, and it's our biggest success to date.
Great. And why did you guys decide to come to NAMI?
We decided to come to NAMI because our company is very, very invested in assisting people in their communities, in particular the area of mental illness. And NAMI is such a wonderful organization, obviously the oldest and largest across the country, to really reducing the stigma. And so we wanted to get our employees to participate, get out there, meet people, meet the different advocacy groups, and learn more, and hopefully make a difference. So it's all about really raising awareness and reducing the stigma.
And can you explain to us a little bit what you're doing over here?
So what we're doing is we have a photo that we will take of different people and their teams, because our theme is walking together, again about reducing stigma. So we're encouraging people to walk together and then get their photo taken, and we were giving away a picture frame that says standing together, making a difference, and walking together. So it's a little keepsake. People can come and remember the day, remember why they walked and so forth, and we think it'll just be something special to remember.
Great, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tricia. It was great to meet you. Is this your first NAMI Walk?
It's actually my second. I went last year.
And compared to last year, how big of a turnout was this?
I'd say it's a much bigger turnout. We did have a good turnout last year, but this year there seems to be more stands. I think there's more people, and I think it's progressing nicely.
And what brings you on the NAMI Walk?
I just came to support my fellow peers and to really promote the idea that there is hope and that people do get better. And I think it's a really great cause, and it's beautiful scenery, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it.
And what's been your favorite part of NAMI so far?
I think just interacting with my peers, going on the walk. I think it's great exercise. I really like seeing all the different organizations coming out and representing their different forms of recovery or companies or whatever it is. It's just, I like everything about it. The weather's nice, the food's good, the people are good. It's a good time.
NAMI Walk this year?
Well, we are a community of artists and advocates who are creating awareness and hope through creating art. And so that's why we're here, is to create art with everybody.
That's great. And is this your first NAMI Walk?
It is not. It's my first NAMI Walk in Massachusetts. I'm from Rhode Island, so I've done that. And I used to live in Massachusetts, and I've sponsored a lot of walkers, but I've never actually been to the Mass Walk.
That's great. And compared to other walks, how big would you say this one is? Do you think it's more bigger, smaller, successful?
Huge. It's amazing. It's so exciting. There's so many people here.
Yeah, definitely. What did you do to NAMI this year?
To support community counseling.
And what's your favorite part of NAMI?
Everybody getting together and having fun.
Meg, what brings you to the NAMI Walk this year?
Well, gosh, tradition. We've been doing this for several years now, and a NAMI Walk with CCBC for a while, and I had the opportunity to be the team captain this year. So it's a lot of fun, and we've had a great turnout, and I'm really pleased with the response we've gotten. And I would just like to say that we have done an amazing fundraising effort this year. We've really put it out there, and I don't know if this is going to be included in the finished product of your filming, but so far CCBC has raised $3,088 for the NAMI Walk.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, compared to other years, is that more or less than what you usually come up with?
Well, I have to tell you, last year was our first year doing it, and we raised $450. And before then, we just came for the walk, for the day, for the outing, and it hadn't really, we hadn't really decided how to organize the fundraising. And this year we're sort of figuring it out. So
now, compared to other walks, how would you say this one's turned out?
I love the way this one turned out. There's great energy here today. The sun came out, and we've got this great breeze. Got a huge crowd, a bigger crowd this year, I think, than last year. And from what I hear, the Boston Walk overall is going to easily exceed its goals for fundraising this year. So,
wow, that's great.
Good news all around.
Joanne, what brings you to NAMI this year?
With the townhouse in Fall River, and we came to join everyone for the walk.
And is this your first NAMI Walk?
Yes, it is.
And as a result, how would you say the turnout is?
I think it's wonderful. Everyone seems to be having a great time. I did. The walk was fun. Got face painting and lots of food and good people, and it's for a great cause. So, yeah.
That's great. And in the future, would you go to more NAMI Walks?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great. And what's been your favorite part so far?
The face painting.
Yeah, I love it. It looks great.
Yeah, that was my favorite. And got pictures taken, and that was wonderful. I have all kinds of pictures with my group, and we're going to blow them up and hang them on at the hot townhouse and decorate the walls. So it would be great.
That's great. Well, thank you very much, Joanne. I appreciate you taking your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Joanne from CCBC signing off.